Ekaterine Tortladze of Georgia, who is the mother of a 25-year-old young woman with a hearing loss. And she's the founder of a foundation that deals with hearing issues in Georgia.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Glad to be a part of this event, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Ruth, for presenting me. Months ago, I was involved in the project, purpose of which was to increase the assistive technology priority list in Georgia, based on WHO APTL. And it is really stepping forward and promotes the increase of existing list from 14 to 33 here in Georgia. So what's the problem here with this list and with the CE? WHO's World Hearing Report says this cochlear implant is one of the most successful of all neural prostheses developed to date, but their use to lessen the impact of deafness and hearing loss has been limited with considerable variation and the lack of take-up of those who could benefit, including in high-income countries. And Georgia is not in the list of the high-income countries. Let me tell a little story about cochlear implant in Georgia. Here in Georgia, cochlear implantation started in 1996, and it was ahead of the time. And it is really great that today we have two leader brands, Medel and Cochlear in Georgia. Cochlear implant program, government program started in 2006 to 2020 by state social care program, and it contained cochlear implant fitting and post-implantation rehabilitation therapy costs. There were no surgery costs because surgery was covered by universal healthcare program. There's really a lot of challenges with this program, like limited number of adopted CI for each year, no implant for adults, poor information and knowledge for families, no rehabilitation therapy before cochlear implantation, and not enough therapy session after cochlear implantation. No possibility to replace or upgrade older broken speech processors. No finance for expendable materials, and so and so. But in 2020, the adopted program was fully stopped because of change. It was moved from social care to healthcare programs. And more than 40 children left without cochlear implant, not to mention adults. Today, to end of 2021, we only know that number of funded cochlear implants is 22, but nobody knows who received it. It is really hard situation here. So in today's webinar question, if I try to answer this question, is the cochlear implant priority in countries like Georgia? My answer is both, yes or no. Yes, because we have some long history with implantation, and having a chance to provide cochlear implant in country like Georgia is really great, but no, because of lack of information and awareness, no policy even about hearing loss and about its treatment. The adults are always out of support. Rehabilitation therapy starts only after cochlear implantation. No support for families, no support with expendable materials, and no chance to replace or upgrade speech processor. As I mentioned, this is very hard, and we saw many children in last year, even last year, with processors Tempo Plus. This is very old device. Fortunately, we were able to help some of them to replace those devices only with the support of Lenhart Foundation. They donate some used but more modern devices, but for only few children. And it only shows state can't see people's need and don't understand the risk for CI users for return them again in the silence. My goal today is not to analyze or criticize my country's social and healthcare system, but this picture shows the importance of more communication and coordination between civil and professional organizations, DPOs and government, and more advocacy from our side, permanent advocacy company. Is the CI a medical, is the device or assistive technology? And why this question is so reasonable, why it does matter? If we look into FDA regulations of cochlear implants, yes, cochlear implant is designed as class 3 devices, meaning they receive the highest level of regulatory scrutiny. But from other side, we know we have question about external part of cochlear implant, which requires replacement from time to time, and there is no need to medical treatment. And what is definition of assistive products by WHO? Any external product, including devices, equipments, instruments, or software, especially produced or generally available, the primary purpose of which is to maintain or improve an individual's functioning and independence, and thereby promote their well-being. Assistive products are also used to prevent impairment and secondary health conditions. And again, those products that are highly needed and absolutely necessary to maintain or improve an individual's functioning. So we all know that CE are not in the priority list of WHO ATL, and lifelong support is really challenging in many countries. Why funding? Next, please. Why funding CI and assistive technology is so important? That even we agree that cochlear implant is just a medical device, we need to advocate to funding external parts, because funding external parts as assistive technology is much easier for users. It means increasing accessibility. Now let's come to the beginning of my presentation, where I mentioned that I was involved in the working process by WHO to increase the list of assistive technology list in Georgia. At this meeting, we involved one of parent from Answer Parents Organization, and we have had information that Parents Association in Ukraine somehow able to prove that speech processor must be funded separately as an external part of cochlear implant. So our goal was to advocate speech processor as assistive technology, and just to try put in at least in the preliminary list. This was just the best possibility for us, the most logical space to put speech processors upgrading, because it's not possible in Georgia. And we did it. It was the first marvel for me, but the exciting news in the latest one, days ago, I was told that this preliminary list will be fully adopted to end of the year, and this is really unbelievable, great news for me. And I guess that Georgia will be one of the first countries in the world that will adopt cochlear implant speech processor in the ATL. So provision of speech processors will be much easier if countries will exist assistive technology priority lists. And I want to just highlight once more the importance of communication and coordination between different sectors when government and society are able to listen and use professional or DPO's experience and knowledge. And very, very important for countries like Georgia is involvement of international societies and international organizations. In this case, it was a WHO. It is very valuable.
Thank you so much, Ekaterine. This is excellent news about the speech processor.